We're privileged today to have Stephanie Taylor, who's the Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Alliance of Smith County, to share with us some of the things that she does and that the organization does. So Stephanie, can you tell us a little bit more about the disease and how it impacts a family?
Well, Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia, so that's the one you're going to hear about the most. And there's about 5 million people in the United States living with Alzheimer's disease right now. So that's a huge impact in our nation and country right now. But what's more interesting is how the disease not only impacts the person living with dementia, but it also impacts the whole family. Many times family members have to become round-the-clock caregivers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, we have respite care programs, and respite care just means time for the caregiver to have a break. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times our caregivers will use our respite care programs just to do things like grocery shopping or getting their hair cut or going to the doctor, things that you and I would take for granted.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that program. What are some other ways that the Alliance helps families?
Well, we have many programs and services. One of the most important things we do is we have a licensed master social worker on staff. And so she meets with every family that's impacted with dementia and helps them create an individualized plan to help them along their journeys. We also provide a lot of education on the disease. You know, we want to make sure that people understand what they might be facing through the journey. So we want people to take control of their health, to know what the pillars of brain health are, to know how they can help reduce their risk. We have many respite care programs, which I mentioned earlier. One of those is our Day Club program. Every Tuesday at Marvin Methodist Church, we host Day Club. And so this is a time for people living with dementia to come and socialize and interact. We play games. We have someone come and sing, and there's dancing and physical activity. We have breakfast and lunch. It's just a really fun time for them to socialize with others living with dementia and have some cognitive stimulation, and again, help combat that isolation that they may encounter when they're living with dementia.
At this time, is there a cure for Alzheimer's?
Currently, there's no cure, and there's really no treatment either. You know, it used to be really low on the list of causes of death, and it's the only disease that's currently increasing. You know, we've put so much emphasis and awareness on heart disease and diabetes that you're seeing those causes of death go down while Alzheimer's is going up.
We always talk about how important life purpose is in all aspects of somebody's life. What draws you to work with Alzheimer's?
I had 2 aunts that were very near and dear to my heart that were both diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. One passed 6 years ago, the other passed 4 years ago. I didn't grow up with grandparents, so they were naturally like my grandmothers, and it was really a difficult journey to watch them go through that. And so again, I felt, very naturally drawn to this organization because I saw how it impacted my family. So I felt like if I could make an impact and make a mark in my community, that this is where I wanted to do it.
You know, you've shared several things that the Alzheimer's Alliance does, and I know from firsthand experience that you do so much more. How can people find out more about what you do?
Well, we have a great website that lists all of our services. We're at alzalliance.org, and people can go on our website and look at all of the programs and services we offer, because you're right, there's many more to mention. And then they're welcome to come by our office anytime and meet with our social worker, our community health worker. That's what we're there for, is to serve our community. So
you've explained several ways that you help the community. How can people in our community help you guys?
That's a great question. We are a local and independent nonprofit, and so about 95% of our funds come from local donors right here in our community. But we also operate on volunteers. For our day club program that I mentioned at Marvin, we require volunteers. We like to have a one-on-one ratio. Currently we have about 25, but we'd like to expand that program and be able to offer multiple days of respite care to our community. And in order to do that, again, you have to have an increase in your volunteers as well.
I know what a devastating disease Alzheimer's is, and all I can say is thank you for what you do each and every day.
Thank you.